Welcome to the TutorMeBae SAT practice test. Let's study some SAT problem here. Okay, first, number one. What is a 25% of 370? This is a percent problem. To solve percent problem, we can set up two different ways to set up the equation. So first, we can set up percent as a decimal times by whole number will give you a part, which what is means they're asking what is a part of 25% of the total whole number. So if you want to change that 25% of 370 as a percent equation, then you can change the percent as decimal, which is a 25% as a decimal will be 0.25, and then times by whole number, which is a 370. That gives you the part, which is after you put the number into the calculator, then you can find out 92.5 as a solution easily. Or we can set up as a percent as a fraction, which is a percent of 100 should be equal to part of total as a fraction. Then this one as a word, what represent the part from the problem? If you see the word is, if you see the word is, that represent the part, and over whole number represent as a of. So you can set up is of to make an equation. So from this problem, if it is a 25%, 25% as a fraction, 25 over 100 should be equal to part, which is a is. That's the missing part. So I can replace that as a x over whole number, which represent with the word of. So of 370 represent the total whole number. And if you cross multiply 25 times 370, that will give you 9,250 equal to 100 times x, which is a 100x, and divide by 100 on both. Then you will get 92.5 as a solution. So the answer for number one will be B. And then number two, at a flight school, pilots in training can rent a single-engine airplanes for $80 per hour and double engine for $180 per hour. The flight school's goal is to take $9,000 in rental fees each month. Which equation represents this situation? So we can set up the equation. First, since we don't know how many hours we rent a single-engine airplane, but price per hour for renting a single-engine airplane will be $80. So 80 times by the number of hours to rent a single-engine airplane plus the number of hours to rent a double-engine airplane, we don't know. So number of hours to rent a double-engine airplane, we replace it with some variable here, and the price per hour for double engine will be $180. And you multiply together will be the total cost to rent a pilot training system. And if we express the total number of hours to rent a single engine airplane as a x, number of hours to rent a double engine airplane as a y, then you can express as a 80 times x plus 180 times y will be 9,000 as a total. That's how you set up. So for number two, we see the answer as a C. And then number three, Sean has two cans of equal height. One has a radius of 8x and the other has a radius of 4x. The volume of a larger can is how many times the volume of a smaller can? To solve this problem, we need to know the formula for the volume of a cylinder. So volume of a cylinder will be representing pi r square h. So we need to find the larger can volume will be pi r as the bigger radius, which is 8x. 8x to the square height. We don't know the height, but we know that those two cans are having a equal height. So smaller can volume expression will be pi, the radius as 4x to the square height, same height h. And if we find the expression for the larger can, volume will be pi times 8x squared will be 64x squared h. And then smaller can, if you square 4x, then pi times 16x squared h. And to find out how many times of the volume of smaller can will be the large one, then you can divide the volume with the large one to the small one. So volume of the large one divided by the volume of a smaller can will be pi times 64x squared h divided by pi times 16x squared h. We can simplify with the same thing, pi cancel out, h, since it's the same height, you can cancel those things out. And even x squared, top and bottoms are same, so you can cancel those things out. Will give you 64 on numerator, 16 on denominator. So you can simplify that as a 4. So volume of larger